A young mother of 3 is suing a Staten Island hospital, claiming she was given a C-section against her will.
CBS 2's Dr. Holly Phillips sat down with a woman who says she didn't have a choice.
35-year-old Renat Dre is the mother of 3 boys. Her first 2 were delivered by cesarean section, which involved difficult recoveries. So in 2011, she was determined to have Yosef naturally through a procedure called vaginal birth after cesarean, or VBAC. It carries risk, but often can be performed successfully. But after several hours of labor, Dre's doctor pushed back.
Then he said, it doesn't matter that you're in good progress. I don't think it's going to be natural. I don't have the whole day for you.
Dre says she felt her doctor was being impatient as he continued to pressure her to have a C-section right away, warning her her uterus would rupture and her baby was at risk.
And they pushed me into the operation. I was begging all the way, don't do it. I feel my baby, everything is fine, don't do it, don't do it. His answer was just, don't speak.
Ultimately, when you went into your C-section, had you given consent?
No, I never did.
Dre is suing the hospital and doctors, claiming negligence, malpractice, and lack of informed consent.
It's in its earliest stages.
Michael Bast is Dre's attorney. He provided the doctor's handwritten note from her medical file spelling out his concerns. The fetus is at risk for serious harm without the C-section, and for the mother, benefits outweigh risk. Senior hospital staff signed off on the C-section. Dre's attorney says the smoking gun for her case is also in the notes.
I have decided to override her refusal to have a C-section. The mother has the right. It is ethically wrong. It is medically wrong. It is always wrong to take a knife and stick it into a woman when she says no.
Staten Island University Hospital says it does not comment on pending litigation, but supports a mother's decision to have a vaginal birth after C-section. Art Kaplan is a bioethicist at NYU Langone Medical Center.
The doctor can cajole, persuade, argue, do everything in their power to get the woman to change her mind, but they should not ever do a procedure, even with the fetus in trouble, against the will of the mother.
Renat Dre says she would like to grow her family of 3 boys, but she says giving birth scares her now.
It was very painful to be treated this way.
Dre also says her bladder was injured during the procedure, and she's suing for an undisclosed amount of damages. But Maurice and Christine, I also just have to point out, we haven't heard from the hospital. They can't really comment on any of the specifics of the case out of patient privacy. So we're only hearing Dre's side, but it was really still good for her to sit down with us. It brings up so many interesting issues.
You just have to wonder, was there a family member who could have stepped in to stop? Maybe the husband, the dad?
You know, I believe she was in the room just with her doula, and so it's sort of unclear exactly what the communication was. But at the end of it, she felt as though she didn't give consent for the procedure, and that's really where we lie.
Fine line. Thank you, Dr. Holly Phillips. Appreciate it. Great story.